I hope you enjoyed your weekend. It's pretty much wrapping up. The work week is upon us, and I have your full weather story breaking down very shortly for you across the country. But first, let's take a look back at the weekend we had. Now, let's break down what's to come in the next few hours, in the next few days. Here we are with the Ontario story. Now, we are looking at a potential risk for thunderstorms come Monday, so not beach weather. So I hope you enjoyed it over the weekend. Potentially, they could be severe in some spots. We are looking at heavy downpours again. A possibility of some hail, but more so it's about the heavy downpours and the strong wind gusts all the way through this area. Now, I'm going to break it down for you as to how this is going to happen. As you can see, the system is making its way across and into the overnight on Tuesday. So it looks like southern Ontario, Toronto area, you're going to be into the rainy weather in the late afternoon, maybe evening hours. That's when you're going to be seeing this rain. So all in all, it could be a great day for a lot of us in Ontario. It's not necessarily a full day event, as you can see. Now, again, we talked about humidex factors a little earlier. This is what we're expecting Monday. Quite high indeed. Now, it's going to be saying 32, which is already high on your thermometer, but it's going to be feeling like 40 for us really right across the Great Lakes Basin. Very hot day for sure. And again, it's that humidity that brings us that potential for the thunderstorms. Now, taking a look at some rainfall totals in Western Canada, it has been very rainy for a lot of us. Take note, Dawson Creek, 80 millimeters of rain from Friday through Sunday, and more rain is to come for these parts. As you can see, Thompson, anywhere between 10 and 20 millimeters of rain through Monday. So in these overnight hours. Also Slave Lake, where you don't need any more rain. We know you're flooding. In fact, 10 to 15 millimeters of rain is coming to your area. Now, this is the story across Western Canada. High pressure moving in place. That means sunny skies and clearing trend for a lot of us. A little bit disorganization when it comes to active weather throughout Monday, Tuesday, a little bit clearing. But take note, Vancouver, Victoria, you will be seeing some rainy weather in the next few days. Now, over to Eastern Canada, we are looking at a potential for some severe and non-severe thunderstorms. We'll have more in your long range. We begin your long range on Tuesday in Manitoba and Ontario, where things are just gorgeous, courtesy of this high pressure system. Clear skies, warm temperatures is essentially what this means. Not the case for us in Atlantic Canada, however. It's a wet story really Tuesday. Except for parts of Nova Scotia, you're not into the rainy weather until Wednesday. Now over to Western Canada, mild temperatures and rainy weather with embedded thunderstorms is what we're expecting Tuesday. Wednesday, also the same story, a little bit less organized, so it's a disorganized system, pop up in nature, with high pressure still in place for us in Ontario, and the rainy weather is shaping up. It's drying out in Atlantic Canada. Thursday, completely dry, warm temperatures still for us in Ontario, and over to the west where the story is, well, it's just really wet, isn't it? So that's your long range. Now, if you would like to win, we want to send you to California. Chinese rescuers saved the lives of 2 miners after they were trapped underground for almost 8 days in high levels of toxic gas. A total of 71 people were working in the mine when it caved. 49 miners managed to escape, and at least 3 bodies have been recovered. Search and rescue operations continue as 17 people remain missing. Now, please do stick with us. We have much more to let you know about in weather news coming up shortly. That was your local forecast. Now a look at the top weather stories. Hello, I'm Kasia Bodurka. We begin with international news. A powerful 7.3 magnitude earthquake rocked Japan's northeastern coast Sunday. According to officials, the crippled Fukushima nuclear power plant was rattled by the quake. Now, sailing is a great way to experience the open seas, and it can also be ideal for the mind, body, and spirit. Shelley Steeves explains. Some of us may be getting into some active weather come Monday morning. We have a clearing trend, though, on the other hand, for us in the prairies. As you can see, high pressure in place, making its way down to the southern regions, pushing this trough, which usually has all that active weather along that trough. It's pushing its way down. On the other hand, for BC, it's still a little unsettled for you. Different story for Ontario. We are watching a system make its way across the province as well. Come Monday morning, right now actually in the evening hours, some people are already seeing that active weather. Most concentrated parts are going to be cottage country, the Nickel Belt. You're going to be seeing more so rain in the afternoon hours, Toronto later in the evening. For Atlantic Canada, system is making its way into your area as well, although Newfoundland, you're good. And, well, it kicked off on Friday, and it's going to be going on for the rest of the week. We had beautiful conditions over the weekend. Not so much the case for the next few days. There is some rain in your forecast for you in Calgary. In fact, let's take a look at what we're expecting through Monday. Thompson area, anywhere between 10 and 20 millimeters of rain will be had, and also into the Slave Lake region where you really don't need any more rain. In fact, you are flooding at this point. So here is the temperature story across Western Canada, really along the coast. Not bad, warming up, but rain is in your forecast, as it is for parts of Calgary as well, relating back to the stampede. Now Monday, it looks like things are clearing up, though, because a high pressure is coming into place. Sunny skies for a lot of us. Taking a look at the PA at 21 degrees, and into Ontario, where things are heating up too with high humid. Thank you for joining us. My name is Kasia Bodurka. We have a full show for you, but first, before we get to your local forecast and what's to come, let's take a look back at the weekend. Messy, muddy conditions. We'll have more on that coming up very shortly. Happening now, survivors of a plane crash that killed 127 people in the Democratic Republic of Congo Friday have returned home. The airliner plowed into a dense forest. You're almost on time for your local forecast, but meantime, before that happens, let me show you a little sneak peek as to what to expect across the country for the next few days, beginning in the west, where Wednesday, Vancouver, Victoria, you're going to be seeing some rain. A little bit more consistent for us, Calgary, Edmonton, as you can see. And as we push our way east, well, things are clearing up because high pressure is moving in. Monday, Saskatoon, 18 degrees, quite cool. Very much a different story for us in Thunder Bay, 30 degrees, though feeling much warmer with the humid X factor. That's the same story for you in Toronto, 32 degrees, feeling like 40 Monday, but clear across the board. Not necessarily the case for us, however, in Eastern Canada. A system is making its way into the area. Tuesday, a lot of us will be seeing the rain. Wednesday for you in Nova Scotia. Calgary Stampede kicked off on Friday. We've seen beautiful weather throughout the weekend. Not necessarily going to be the case for the next few days, however, which could prove to be a little on the messy, muddy side when it comes to the Stampede, doesn't it? Now through Monday, these are the rainfall totals we're expecting in and around the Thompson area, between 10 and 20 millimeters of rain. Into the Slave Lake area, where I know you don't need any more rain. You are flooded out. 10 to 15 additional millimeters of rain, and that's of course due to the upsloping of the Rockies and the foothills. Now there is a humidex advisory for Monday. Extreme southwestern Ontario, very hot. It's going to be feeling throughout Monday. Humidex values at 42. That's right, it's going to be feeling like 42 for a lot of you. So really keeping hydrated. You know, if you do have to go outside, try to not be active because it will be feeling very hot. Humidex values across southern Ontario, the Great Lakes Basin, quite high as well. 40 for you in Toronto. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Kasia Bodurka. You're right on time for your forecast. We have a lot to cover. It was a great weekend for a lot of us. Not so great for some of us, on the other hand. In fact, we have some footage of hail that, at some points throughout the weekend. So extremely windy indeed. Now let's take a look at the situation for Ontario. We're looking at some active weather coming to us for Monday, all the way from Windsor to Quebec, up to northeastern Ontario. Isolated, severe for some of us, non-severe, pop-up in nature, and definitely not a full-day event. Our greatest threat with this series of thunderstorms passing through the area will just be some heavy downpours and some strong winds. Okay, so this is how it's all going to happen. We're going to watch the system make its way into the area. parts of northeastern Ontario. That's where you're going to be seeing the most concentrated amounts of rain into the afternoon hours. Then the system moves into Toronto, southern Ontario, not until the late evening or at least the early evening hours. And again, heavy downpours, strong gusts of winds. That's what we're really expecting. Now, in terms of temperatures, this is your story for southern Ontario. High humidex factor, and it's really that humidex that's fueling the potential for this thunderstorm, right? It's also in conjunction with the cold front that will be passing through. So there is that definite potential. 32 is what it'll say on your thermometers. Okay, so into the western part of the country, high pressure system is moving its way in. That's pushing this trough of unsettled weather down into the states. Essentially, we're left with a little bit of unsettled weather for BC and Alberta come Tuesday. Now, we have seen a lot of rainy weather already. In fact, take a look at this. Dawson Creek saw up to 80 millimeters of rain over this past weekend, and more rain is to come. In fact, Thompson, you're going to be seeing anywhere between 10 and 20 millimeters of rain through Monday. Slave Lake, you too are going to be seeing some heavy downpours at some point. And again, we know you don't need it. There is a flood currently underway in these parts. Atlantic Canada, a new system is making its way into the area. BC or Newfoundland, you're going to be looking clear though on Monday. A lot of hot spots across the country. Of course, temperatures on the rise. We are in the heat of the summer. Temperatures going to be feeling much warmer than what we're looking at these values. For instance, Toronto, Monday, 32 degrees. Going to be feeling like 40 Monday, so keeping note of that. Similar story goes for us across the country. Calgary, Regina, 22, though feeling a little bit warmer with that humidex factor. Enjoy.